TV.com. You'll see I'm not alone. I've got with me Andreius and Alisha Moore. They are with DreKo Music Productions out of Gulfport, Mississippi, and they are helping independent musicians learn how to navigate through the music and arts entertainment industry. And I love this. So welcome.
Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
It's so good to have you. Thank you for being patient, too, with the technical difficulties and all. But I love your guys' story. Okay, I love that you are focused and intentional with helping independent artists. We're learning a lot here on Good Things about the struggles that they can go through. So share with us how you or why you created your production company.
Well, we came up with the idea in 2015, and I myself, I am an independent artist, and I noticed that other artists, was having struggles and trying to figure out, how to navigate. So we just came up with the idea, to start that and to actually want to help other artists along the way. So, I mean, pretty much the company comes with a lot of features, that pretty much, that the artists, need. Just depending on the artist and what that artist need, because most artists are already established, but some are not. But that's pretty much what it what it brings.
People forget that independent artists are like individual little small businesses. We've had here Chapel Hart to Todd Tillman to other independent artists throughout Mississippi who remind us that without our support, without us sort of buying into what they're doing, they can't necessarily get to that, next level. I love on your website you talk about artist development. What does that look like in terms of helping an artist develop who they are?
Well, there's 5 stages of an artist, an indie artist. They're the unknown artists first, and then they're the emerging artists where they're just breaking out, writing that first song, going to do, recording sessions, and then they become the local artists around town where everybody knows them. And then you have the mainstream where they hit that mainstream and you kind of pretty much see them everywhere. And that last stage is an epic artist. That's like your Michael Jackson status. So what our program does is take each artist, to try to get them to at least mainstream. We work with a lot of unknown artists that are very talented and they don't have a lot of the support, that they need. So when they come into our program, we do a one-on-one consultation with each artist because there's different every artist. We may have some artists that have songs wrote but never recorded, depending on what level they're on, what type of artist they are. And then we work with them to help them develop their skills, learn a couple of things about the basics of the music industry, like how to get their song on Apple and Spotify. Because it's a transition right now from CDs to streaming. So a lot of artists are kind of in that middle, like, what do I do from here? I don't know how I should get my music out to the world. So we kind of help them in that process.
Do y'all look for talent or does talent find you guys? Or both?
Both. We look for talent actively. We did get a chance to watch Chapel Hart. Amazing story.
Shout out to Chapel Hart.
Yes. We do look for talent all over Mississippi. Of course, with Mississippi being the birthplace of America's music, there's so much talent here, and a lot of people overlook us sometimes until you get a Chapel Hart every now and then. So we look for artists and artists find us. You can just ask Siri to look us up.
I watched the little video y'all had on your website about artist development and how the business has changed, I guess, over the last decades. You brought up Michael Jackson. I think the dude that was on your website was talking about Prince probably wouldn't get signed now. So why is it so hard for indie artists to maybe get their foot into the door where maybe 15, 20, 30 years ago, it was a little bit easier for good talent to find their way to mainstream?
Well, that's an easy question. Bad music industry executives are the A&R. Really, the A&Rs that used to work for the major labels, they scouted these artists and they were good A&Rs, good music executives. And they would actually find talent. That video that you watched, that guy is one of the guys who's responsible for finding Prince. people don't look for talent these days. They have social media, and just because everybody's on social media doesn't necessarily mean everybody's talented, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just made it very hard. It has perks, and it has the cons as well, social media. But when it comes to finding real talent, you do have to meet with people, one on one, to get a understanding of what that artist is, how that artist developed himself to want to even do music.
Yeah, and now also in today's time, now the difference now, the labels wanting people to already have the
That's right.
million followers, so on beyond, so that's the difference from back then and now. You got to basically already have yourself established. So
and that's kind of crossed all media. You think, like, even cooking shows, I know that's a completely different direction, but they want you to have like millions of followers on YouTube already, basically, already, you're just a package deal, and they just sort of bank off of your hard work and give you a bigger platform versus developing you. So I can see where that can be tough. Yeah. Andreius, you mentioned you're an indie artist, and so I'm curious, can you still reach kind of like that local level of indie without having to have the million followers? Are there still ways for people to sort of create buzz for themselves in our local communities without having to always, have their face online?
Yes, ma'am, most definitely. The hard work is the work where people don't get to see, okay? And being an independent artist is, you have a lot of things to do, like not just social media promotion. You have to, go out. Yeah, you have to go out and talk about who you are. You have to go out and meet people. You have to be active in the community. You have to just be a people's person. That would help an independent artist. That's what kind of artist I am. I go out, put posters up, I pass out CDs. I even, sometimes you just get active with the community. I go and,
no concerts.
Yeah, I like to, pass out plates and stuff to people that need food. Just a way to also show who you are as a person, to get people to really just understand who you are, and as an independent artist. And that's one of the most ways that you could, for any artist, could do.
Because I think sometimes, you did. And I think we forget too that the getting out there and doing the open mics, or doing the local, gigs, or, paying your dues in the old ways, so to speak, still, I hope still has merit. Right, Alisha?
That's right. That's right. You said it. You said the old ways, but listen, not obsolete though. So
no,
pretty much we're trying to help the artists kind of keep that sense of the writers, because you had writers and stuff like that. And, stay focused with the community as well. Because, I mean, anybody that has 1 million followers, it's just 1 million followers. You know what I'm saying? They don't know all of those people. But if you are active with your community, everybody knows you. They support you 100%. And that's just kind of giving back to the community. And then the community giving back to you.
And another important thing artists need to remember, without your supporters, you gotta have supporters.
Right,
you have to have supporters, even to buy your music, to listen to your music, to even give you compliments and stuff, so on, to let to give you feedback. So it's very important to really tune in with people, as an independent artist, and trying to work your way up through the levels that you have to go through.
How many artists do you have right now with DreKo Music Productions?
Well, how it goes, the artists I'm working with, I have maybe about 15 artists.
It's like 27.
Well, yeah, that's why don't hold me to that. I might have more. But the thing with it, DreKo Music Productions, that company is basically, I wouldn't say under DreKo Music Productions, because right now we have a label we're working on. It's called Truth Music Entertainment. Okay. So right now we're in a transitional phase with that. So I
Well,
have
hold on,
about,
Andreius. We're in transition through a break. We'll get to you talking about your label, CutOutTV.com. We're continuing our conversation with Andreius and Alisha Moore. They're with DreKo Music Productions out of Gulfport, Mississippi. And we all know that Mississippi is rich in indie artist talent. And I think it's a cool conversation to let artists know that there are businesses inside our state that can help them with artist development. I even saw, like, if you want to do a music video or production. I always wondered, where do people go to just record their songs professionally? I didn't know that we have a slew of options of that too here in the state. And it sounds like y'all are venturing in that direction as well. So you got your hands full, don't you?
I know. It is. It is.
If you love to do it, it's gonna, just be like something you just love to do. You look forward to, doing it every day you wake up. It's something new every time.
It reminds me of publishing companies that pop up left and right that help writers get their works out into the world that may not otherwise know how, but they're not the big mamma jamma names that you think of, but they can be just as successful, right? And so who are you focusing on with your new label? Tell us about that.
Artists that just, make good music. It's a difference, as in today's what we hear today. I'm just looking for artists who can tap into their self and find out who they are as artists. Because for one, you got to know who you are as an artist,
Right.
even to begin with, to just produce good music. I'm just, it's all about talent,
Raw talent.
Yeah, and we basically creating a new genre of music, truth music. Okay, that's in the formation. That's the name of the label, by the way. But yeah, we, it's just real talented artists, who really love to do it and want to take the time.
Where in Gulfport are you guys recording?
Right now we're working with Vinny Beats. He's located downtown Gulfport. Very professional.
You can look him up.
Yeah, you can Google him. Everyone speaks highly of him. He's just very professional. He's an industry producer, by the way. He mentioned to me he's from Florida. He's been in Gulfport for some time.
Couple of years.
Yeah, so y'all check out Vinny B.
Yeah, for those that may feel like they would like to be an indie artist, or they feel like they have, gifts or talents in that area, kind of like writers do, it's scary to venture off into an industry of the unknown. And I feel like some have, poor, ideas of what the music industry or the entertainment industry is. Can you still navigate it and maybe keep your soul? Should I say it that way? Or, and have level of success without, feeling like you have to run with the crazies?
Most definitely.
You just have to have the right team.
And patience.
Of all. Because a lot of times when people, per se, give away their souls, literally, they just give away their masters, their rights to their ownership of their music, who they are, and it helps them first, but in the long run, it hurts them. If you give away something like that, what do you leave for your family? That's what it means, really, literally. And we're just trying to help these artists understand, hey, if you want to stay independent, you can. Yeah. It is harder. It's very hard, but the rewards at the end are very rewarding.
Very.
But we do have some artists who want to lean towards the label, and we can also help them with that as well.
Yeah, and if you just the type of artist who just want everybody to do it for you, and you just want to just go record, that's all you want to do, just record and go do shows, then you letting, other people control your life. That go along with that. But if you're the type of person who wants to work, self-motivated, do it yourself. I want to learn this. I want to figure this out. I want to make this a business. A lot of artists don't like the business side of things. That's why they just.
That is so true. Everybody loves music, but they don't like the paperwork.
They don't want to do the paperwork. They don't want to learn.
I could get behind that. I don't like paperwork either.
Well, but
behind the scenes is hard.
Yeah.
But what I think's good. Yeah, about though that introducing the fact that DreKo Music Production there on the Gulf Coast, as well as other companies across the state, are there for people who feel a little lost in the gap or who may have the gifts and talents and don't know where to start or how to get it to the next level. So if someone is looking for you, where can we go, or to listen to the music that you are helping to produce? Where can we find you guys online?
www.DreKoMusicProductions.com. That's DreKoMusic Productions with an S.com.
www.
Yep. And Andreius, where can we hear your music as an artist?
Uh, you can ask Siri. Also, you can find me on Apple, Pandora, Spotify, Deezer,
everywhere.
Everywhere.
I say Siri because someone called us last week, I believe, and this guy, he's like, I asked Siri to look you guys up, and she gave me your number. I was like, wow.
But I'm everywhere. SoundCloud, all everywhere, So y'all, just
Apple Music.
I said Apple.
Yeah, okay.
Apple. So yeah, you can just find me anywhere.
When did you get your love of singing or music, Andreius? When did you get that bug?
Church.
I started off when I was younger. I started in a church in the choir, and then I started taking it professionally, seriously in 2012. And I've been, going and going and going, ups and downs, since then. So I just, that's when I really started it,
What keeps you in the business, since it's a gnarly business?
I mean, for one, I just love to, make music. I do it for free. That's how much I like, love to do it. And, just learning more about it, every time I learn more about it, it basically interests me more. It just, makes me want to keep going and going and going. The opportunities as well, and what it can bring and how it can impact the community and people around.
That's right. Everybody loves
that is
music.
Everybody loves music. It's one thing that brings us all together. I love that y'all are doing this together. There's probably an interesting story in that as well. Alisha, did you get drug into doing the music production thing as a couple, or are you an artist yourself?
Well, I started in church as well. And I kind of lean towards the business side of it because I have family members where I'm from in Hattiesburg that were doing music, and I kind of saw the direction that they were in, and they needed, some guidance. But I moved to Gulfport in 2012, and me and my husband met in 2015. And it's just amazing that he's a musician, and I don't mind working with musicians. That's something I love to do. I like to bring that out of people, you know what I'm saying, to help them on the back end in that process, because that's a hard job, for anybody. But I'm a writer. I do have a book online. It's on Amazon, Walmart, everywhere you can Google it. It's called Salty Tears. So that's where I kind of lean towards that area. So
I love that. Great title, by the way. Great title.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. What's the book about?
Salty Tears is to raise awareness on human trafficking. It's a story about a little girl who gets tricked into trafficking by a family friend. It's a 3-part book. The first book is out. I'm going to wait to put the second one out. We hope to get a deal with Netflix and make it a series. So,
well, you are a little power couple there in Gulfport, but it sounds like to me that you also know what's most important, and that's connecting back into your community and using your gifts and talents to spread good messages and awareness, which I think is highly important. So, kudos to that as well. So I appreciate getting to know you guys. I know this may be the first of many. I look forward to meeting some of your artists, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
That's pretty cool. DreKo Music Productions, they're doing great things in Gulfport. Don't forget, you can, go for your dream. If you're still an indie artist, there are ways and avenues to do that. And then as us who likes to be the consumer of music, don't forget, when you see artists out at your local cafes or restaurants or bars or whatever it may be, you going and buying the ticket and supporting them, or, downloading their music online, you are supporting